Previously on Frame by Frame.
Yeah, I think we've spoken enough.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
What's that?
Who's that outside your window? Is that? Is that?
No.
Is that the ex? Is that the Spice Girls?
No, they don't.
No, look.
Oh my God, who's that?
That's sport. She looks a bit sporty. She looks a bit posh. You got a ginger one, scary one,
This is not right.
baby one. Come on.
What are they doing? What are they putting masks on? Oh my
Are
God,
they
they're coming over here. They're
Are they
coming
coming
over
to
here.
the door?
Yeah. Oh my God, they're in. Quick, just grab everything. What? Oh my God!
What do you want?
What is it?
No,
what
will
do
you
you
grab me? No.
To become one? What do you mean to become one? What?
You talking to me?
Did you have a brain tumor for breakfast?
Then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like a clown. You know?
I'm Peter Venkman. We all go a little mad sometimes.
Man that doesn't spend time with his family will never be a real man.
Damn!
I'm kind of a big deal.
First thing of my love is, do not talk about my
Yeah, baby! You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
My head. Oh. What's that?
Right.
Andy, is that you?
Yeah. Right. Just if you don't know this from the last episode, we've been abducted by the Spice Girls, and they're holding us captive in some sort of dungeon. And
It's like a big cave of some kind with instruments on the wall of torture and...
yeah, we just keep hearing screams and Spice Girls music.
Yeah, it's very eerie. But I keep on nodding off.
Scary did hit you in the head really, really hard.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had baby who sort of took me, so she kind of mothered me, and then until she put me into this place. And
Yeah.
This is no place for a baby
She
to
hit
be.
you with a mittens.
She did.
I remember. Yeah.
And,
yeah.
and she whipped me with her pigtails.
Oh, damn.
It got
this
in my
is
eye. Got a
unbearable.
little bit of a weird. sort
But
of thing.
you did have, I'm so glad because you had the first thought, let's make sure we don't forget to bring the equipment
Exactly.
or the coffee.
Because we thought there might be a podcast in this.
Oh, my coffee's cold.
Damn those Spice Girls to hell. But no, don't cry. Try and think of
Sure.
try and think of is there a film that made you feel like you feel right now in this? Sort of like dark and
It's water. I can't see daylight.
a bit disturbing.
The only thing I can think of is Se7en by David Fincher, but that's an old film.
But it's a good film.
It's 20 years old. Can you believe it?
You are kidding me. Right?
And I'm sure everybody's seen it, but it's the Morgan Freeman,
Yeah, God is in this film.
Brad Pitt. He thinks he's God. Well, he is now that he's married to Angelina Jolie.
I meant Morgan Freeman.
Oh, he is God. Yes.
God is in this film.
Yeah. But Se7en has a trailer, so let's, while we...
Luckily, the Spice Girls have supplied us with a laptop, so let's
watch the trailer. Yeah.
Do you like what you do for a living? These things you see?
You have to wear blinders sometimes. Most times.
Detective William Somerset is looking for a way out.
You're retiring. 6 more days and you're all the way gone.
So how long have you lived here?
Too long. Detective David Mills is looking for a way in.
We'll be spending every waking hour together from now until the time I leave. I'll show you who your friends and enemies are.
Look, I've worked homicide 5 years. Not here.
Now,
Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a homicide.
they're caught in a game.
No fingerprints and no witnesses of any kind.
Nope. About the only thing we know about that guy right now is he's totally insane.
Where the price of sin is death.
There are 7 deadly sins. Gluttony,
You're going to come take a look at this?
greed,
No one touches anything.
sloth, wrath, pride, lust, and envy. 7. You can expect 5 more of these.
Body was found on Tuesday morning.
I hate this city.
We're gonna get who did this.
This will be the very definition of swift justice.
There are 2 more bodies, 2 more victims.
This guy's methodical, exacting, and worst of all, patient.
He's laughing at us.
He had a gun.
He's 2 murders away from completing his masterpiece.
Let's finish it.
Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
No.
7.
Wow, that trailer's dark.
It's short and dark.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's kind of like the film, but shorter. It sort of made me want to watch the film because
Yeah, even though we've seen it already, trailers seem to have that effect on people.
it's almost that's what they're designed to do.
It's very clever.
Yeah,
Very clever. Why am I out of breath?
I think we could be at high altitude here. I feel a bit lightheaded and a bit short of breath myself.
Let's talk about this film. Well, yeah, while we're here, we might as well do something.
Okay.
So let's do a review. I mean, you brought the equipment here and coffee.
Well, go on then. Tell me about 7.
Well, 7 is I think it was the second film by David Fincher. He had done before then Alien 3,
Right.
which
This was his follow-up.
this was his big follow-up, and I think that's probably the best follow-up that anybody could ever have.
Yeah, say so.
7 is one of those dark films that you don't mind watching over and over again. And in its most sinister darkness, there's so much light in there, and it's I love it. I love the look. I love the feel.
This is another one of those films that it gets under your skin while you're watching it.
It's unapologetically insidious. It creeps over you, but you still don't turn it. I've never ever switched it off.
Right.
And I've always watched it in the dark. It's never scared me. It's just fascinated me.
Right.
It's a film about the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah, a serial killer who's murdering people who he believes has committed one of the 7 sins, isn't it?
Yeah, which fascinatingly, you'd think that's just a typical, after once he's got to the 6th, they're bound to capture him on the 7th, and one person will be alive, and that will just ruin his.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many assumptions you can have.
Yeah, because being a mainstream film, you do assume that everything will turn out rosy in the end.
Yeah, and at that time, Hollywood was kind of getting into that whole twist thing, where for example, I mean, the worst film for this, the worst twist, this is the film with the worst twist ever. Along Came the Spider, when throughout the whole film they play Monica Potter's character as this innocent, and all of a sudden she's revealed to be the killer at the end, and all of a sudden she just starts pretending to act like she's a killer at the end, and it's just the most unbelievable twist.
Was Morgan Freeman in that as well?
He was also in that.
Yeah.
It was the thriller twist season of films that was going on.
Right.
A decade of twisty films.
Well, I think the twisty film thing is still not finished with Gone Girl, which I think is a David Fincher film as well.
Did you hear that?
Does sound like
Bad guy.
That high-pitched voice is Mickey.
sound like Mickey Mouse.
We could work really
And the
hard.
Spice Girls. What's he doing
You
with
know
the
what
Spice
this
Girls?
is? It's because we were talking about the Illuminati last week.
Oh my gosh!
The Illuminati have taken
You
us.
were a goner.
Oh, what?
Of course, the Spice Girls are part of the Illuminati. All the symbolism in the films, two become one and all that.
I think
To
so.
become one? Oh my gosh. Well, I have no idea what that means, but it sounds bad.
Yeah.
It is David Fincher.
Yeah, brilliant.
Ah, I thought it was actually directed by Ben Affleck as well. I kind of
No,
felt
no,
as though
no.
he was smothering himself again.
But yeah, there's a big twist
Oh,
at the
there's a
end
big
of
twist.
Gone Girl. But again, Gone Girl is a really good film. Recommend
Oh.
you watch it. It's very good.
Yeah, because I mean, I love David Fincher films.
Yeah, he's an artist.
He's an energetic artist as well. He doesn't. His films don't seem to have any loss of energy in them. They're always pumping,
Yeah.
always good.
And he seems to have an impeccable, incredible eye for detail.
And he was ever so young as well. He was such a young director, kind of like Ridley Scott in a way, where they started off being a director who people didn't have a lot of faith in, and then he just blew people away with his technical skill.
Yeah.
And in Seven, he took the detective film noir genre to a higher level by taking it deeper and darker down. Not to say that it was actually, he just removed the light altogether. He just simply reinvented light in a way.
Right.
And the darkness. I mean, black was black. I mean, that's what he said in the whole thing about the lighting. It, he didn't want people to kind of see the blackness. Oh, someone. What's that?
One of the Spice Girls is having a shower.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my God, it's hideous. Oh, just don't look. Don't
20
look.
years ago it might have been, but not now. Not now. Look, they haven't been looking after themselves. Okay.
But
Yeah,
saying that this was his second film and
Yeah.
Alien 3 being the first film he did, he's certainly got some really heavyweight actors to take on the the roles.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Brad Pitt was one of the hottest.
The height of his powers, then, wasn't
height
it?
of his
You got Morgan Freeman, again, massive. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes, she was just climbing then.
Yeah.
She wasn't at the peak of her game, because I didn't even know who she was until that
Oh,
film.
right. Well, it's just before. Then she did Shakespeare in Love, and then she...
Yeah, I think she was living with Winona Ryder at the time.
Stealing things.
No. Well, no, she was actually who stole? Yeah, actually, you're right. Gwyneth Paltrow was stealing things because she, apparently, and this is the myth, was that Winona Ryder and Gwyneth Paltrow were working together, or living together in the same apartment, sharing an apartment, and a script came through for Winona Ryder for Shakespeare in Love. Gwyneth Paltrow took it, and she went and auditioned instead, got the part, and Winona Ryder had no idea, and apparently there was a big rift and they fell out.
I'm not surprised.
And it turned Winona Ryder into a very distrustful woman indeed, who, and of course I think Gwyneth Paltrow had extremely what felt as though that because Winona Ryder became that renowned for her shoplifting abilities, or lack of abilities, that I think that they kind of both came off. I think Gwyneth Paltrow came off much better than Winona Ryder, unfortunately, in that whole scenario.
Wow.
So there you go. That's an interesting thing, but that's
Hollywood for you.
That is, and
But
they've never been the same since. So.
Well, the other obviously main guy in Seven is Kevin Spacey.
Yes, the unbilled.
The unbilled, and he said that himself, didn't he? He said,
Yeah.
you can't put my name at the beginning of this film, because
Yes.
if you do, they will know who, that I'm the bad guy in it,
But it's quite funny because you know it's him when he appears in the police. He comes walking in, and he's covered in blood, and he goes, "Detectives!"
Detective.
After this, I'm gone.
No big surprise. You're looking for me.
And so there's no question of it. He is John Doe.
Yeah.
So it didn't really matter if Kevin Spacey's name was at the beginning or not. People didn't really know who he was then.
The thing is,
That
because
much.
it's the reveal. No, he did, because he done. I think people who were fan of sort of. They've had the shower.
At the shower. Were they all together?
I just saw like a mess of flesh, and I just feel revolted.
So yeah, Kevin Spacey.
I think if you'd seen Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Gwyneth Paltrow, Kevin Spacey,
and you don't see him.
And you don't see him. You'd be waiting. It would have some sort of effect with the film. I believe that.
Yeah,
you'd be waiting.
right.
When's Kevin Spacey going to turn up if he's in this film?
It was a good instinct.
Yeah.
It was a good instinct, and I think that you're right. But what a role for. You know what? There's nothing to put you in good spirits. Is to have a good old laugh about Kevin Spacey in the Seven movie whilst being held captive by the Spice Girls and the Illuminati. You know, you gotta laugh.
You've got to, exactly.
Laugh,
You've got to gallows humour. That's what it is.
Gallows humour, yeah. Well, you need that. I mean, but Seven does have humour in it, though.
It does, even in the most
inappropriate moments.
Yeah, that guy who's just been forced to screw that prostitute with the dildo from hell, which is essentially just dagger. The way he acts it, he's in Alien 3 as well.
Was that?
No, he's not. He's in Alien Resurrection, I think.
Oh.
But he essentially plays the same part of hysterical crying man.
Yeah, because that is probably the most distorted part of the film, and you have to really look at it to figure out what went on. And as soon as you look at it, it's gone. You've moved on.
Yeah, because when you see the dildo like a knife is horrific, and to know that he just screwed this prostitute with wearing that, but now he's just this hysterical mess, and the way it's acted and played out, it's funny. And you know, because I did the first time I watched it, I was like laughing at his performance and the way it all was, and I was thinking I shouldn't be finding this funny. This wasn't wrong.
Actually, that wasn't what I was thinking. Is the funny part.
Oh,
and to
think
that you actually think that's funny. No, well, I know what you mean. It is. It's disturbing humour. It's like a sloth on the bed waking up after having lied there for a whole year, having photographs taken of himself every single day, deteriorating. I mean, that poor guy, he won't come back, he won't bounce back to life with that.
You take a bit of therapy to get over that kind of stuff, isn't it?
Imagine this sloth just going through therapy and being taken out into the world again.
Imagine there's like a rehab, there's like about 10 of them in a circle. My name's such a thing. I was tied to a bed and forced, but I didn't take photographs for a year. And then the next guy's like, yeah, me too. It would be real.
And then half of them just leaves and says, well, I tell you what, my problem's not as bad as that guy. I'm fine.
Yeah.
You know, imagine his job interview at IKEA. So you've had a bit of rehab.
Yeah. I just had.
Can I turn the light on? Is that all right? Kill him. Okay. Can we get a mop, please? But yeah, I mean that was probably that was the first time I was actually quite. That I was disturbed and humoured at the same time in a movie. It was like, oh my god, what the hell has happened?
And I had no idea. I didn't think for 1 second he was still alive.
He's gonna wake up now.
Yeah. So when the dead go close to his face, all of a sudden
oh yeah. Ear of the Free. Was it the Ear of the Free?
It would have been. Must have been.
Well, it certainly didn't come across as not being. You know, it was a shock. It was a scare. Perfect. Loved that moment.
Yeah.
And what was amusing, did you notice that the level of detail that David Fincher put in that scene? He actually thought about. Well, it seems as though that John Doe had a bit of a routine. Every day, or every now and then, he got himself an air freshener, an Alpine air freshener.
Yeah.
And whenever the smell got a little bit too bad, he added another air freshener, and it just showed they're all just hanging from the ceiling. And this is what David Fincher did. He actually sent a letter to an air freshener company, because he wasn't intending on having.
Right.
You know, he was just going to have a couple of air fresheners, and they just sent him a whole box. And they said, "Well, what are we going to do with the box?" He said, "Well, we'll just put them all out in the set. Every single one." Yeah, every single one. So it's like this beautiful.
It's like a warped Christmas, isn't it?
It's a white. It's into the woods. It's all these little Alpine trees.
Yeah.
You know. Should we talk about that while we're this close to big Illuminati?
Let's just.
No, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like a mobile. You know how babies have mobiles. The fact that Sloth has actually been reduced to a vegetative state. He's no more or no less coherent than a newborn baby at this time. And he's got all these Alpine mobile just waving in the breeze. It's such a clever bit of art direction and set decoration, and it just works beautifully.
Yeah.
I love it, and it's gross.
Oh no,
It's gross. But to imagine that somebody could actually be in that situation, and to think that in this world, well, judging by our situation right now, anything is possible. It's not looking too good for us, man.
It's not.
But
I just don't know what's in store for us. Come on, just
humour.
Let's take our mind off our present situation and focus
think
on...
about what's funny about Seven. Yeah, there's a scene where the in the police I always say police studio. I mean the police station.
Yeah.
They're all having an important discussion about the 7 deadly sins, and all of a sudden there's a phone ringing, and then the guy picks up the phone and he says, "This isn't even my desk," then hangs up. And I was like,
what's with that?
I love it. I love that moment. And it was actually one of the quotes that they had on the spine of an Empire magazine once, because they always quote the most unbelievable quotes. But, you know, to make you think, oh, what's that from? And then the next month they reveal who the quote's from. I didn't get it, and it bothered me for a whole month until they actually revealed whose quote it was. It was the police lieutenant in Seven, who answers the phone and says, "This isn't even my desk," and then hangs up. It belongs in a comedy film. It belongs in Lethal Weapon. In fact, I thought it was Lethal Weapon, but it wasn't. It was Seven, and I couldn't believe that I didn't get that joke reference. There was also the joke reference of the vibrating house when they have Morgan Freeman over for dinner. And,
of course, yeah.
They're living right near the train track, which makes me think that they're either in Chicago because they have an elevated train. But yeah, I mean, the whole idea of the city in Seven is it's not New York, it's not Chicago. That's kind of, it's so dark and it's so wet. It's raining all the time.
Yeah, every time they're in the city, it's just rain.
Miserable, dark.
But when they get out of the city, it's beautiful sunshine.
Yeah, well, isn't that such an odd contrast to actually take the darkness away into the light in such a way when it's the most depressing moment for, well, at least for Brad Pitt's character. I'm sure Morgan Freeman went home and thought, oh, there goes another day, closer to retirement. But then there's the whole scene, the most famous scene of the whole film.
It's in the box!
What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
What's in the box? Zach Braff actually quoted that in Sesame Street. Well, not accidentally. I think he put the reference in there very cleverly. I thought, no, you didn't just do that.
What's so brilliant about that part is Kevin Spacey's performance. He's just so weird and scary. You know, he's talking about he envies his life.
Yeah.
And when they're on the way there and he's in the back of the car and he's sort of just bobbing from side to side, like like a little excited child. He's like, oh, I really can't wait for you to see it. And you know,
it's bizarre.
It's really bizarre, yeah, it is.
But it's a very understated performance. It's very minimalistic. What Kevin Spacey does there is he doesn't act like a villain. He acts like a person who is honestly feels as though he's in complete control.
Yeah,
in his own world.
And he's doing what he believes is right.
Yeah, completely in his own world. And I think it's such a strong, understated performance that didn't get any nomination. I'm surprised because sometimes acting is not acting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The fact that some actresses and some actors seem to get Oscar nominations just because they are saying they have big brush characters that can say lots of monologues in front of the camera. But there's the other side, the ones who actually don't, that take away.
Yeah, but I suppose his performance in American Beauty, which he did win the Oscar for, is very understated as well.
Very similar. You're right, yeah. So in a way, they were probably just...
And do you think Seven's the kind of film that the Oscar committee would really latch onto?
They didn't know at all. They didn't latch onto it.
It's not their type of film, though, is it?
No, there was nothing on the... I mean, the score was really dark. Really dense, dark, foreboding. Love that score. But yeah, you're right. It's just not a very... not a fun thing to play in front of all your peers.
Which is wrong for the Oscars to think that way.
Well, they don't like sci-fi either. I mean, come on. I mean, Sigourney Weaver was the first actress to be nominated as an actress in a science fiction film, which it shocks me because science fiction is such a You know, I think actors sometimes go into that genre and just pretend that they're just having playtime. They don't take it seriously enough. But Sigourney Weaver came in and she really changed that.
Is that for Alien? The first one?
Aliens.
The second
sequel.
one?
Yeah.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Like with films like Schindler's List, they sort of have to nominate it. It has to be part of it because it's an event. That film's an event. Well, Seven's not really an event.
No, it's an experience.
That's exactly
It's
what
a
it is.
feel bad movie.
Yeah.
It's a feel bad.
If you're ever in a really good mood,
It's
watch
ruining
this
it.
film. Yeah.
But it's not that bad. I mean, I like I say, I mean, there are some films that I can't watch because they are too dark.
Right.
Requiem for a Dream.
That's tough.
Miserable film. Yeah. But I think it's all down to the fact that Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt
What's in the box?
are two detectives working together in this film, and
There's parallels between that and Lethal Weapon, isn't there?
yeah, but it's
You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like the really dark, not funny Lethal Weapon film.
It is, but it is funny because there's so many moments where Brad Pitt is just talking and Morgan Freeman is saying, "You talk too much," or like, they're in the beginning. I think they're very chatty. Well, he's very chatty, and it's kind of cocky.
Yeah,
cocky.
Brad Pitt's very cocky in it, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then Morgan Freeman's the wise, knowledgeable person.
Yeah, but he's not an exposition man. Have you noticed that there's
very little exposition in there.
Well, no, actually, he does. He does in the police station where he explains all the 7 deadly sins, what they are. There's a couple of highlights in 7 that I have to bring about. The scene in the library where they play Air on a G string. That is actually it's Air on a G string. It's just chord.
Right.
Air on G. You.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
No, we're not talking about you girls. Oh my gosh, did I just answer back to the Spice Girls?
Just don't look at them.
Sorry. They're miles away, but they're listening. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, there's the library scene is one of my favourite scenes, and it's a montage scene. It's beautiful music. It's beautifully edited. It flows and it takes you. I love it. It's just I just love that. I dig that kind of a feel about the movie where I know they're progressing. They're both working separately. They're looking at all these graphic images. They're looking at incubus, succubus, all the different things, and you're following that. You're just kind of in there with them.
You're sort of investigating with them.
Yeah, and I love that kind of interactive feel to the film. And then you've got the scene with Gwyneth Paltrow and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
The emotional, sentimental scene in the cafe where she tells him that she's pregnant.
Yeah, and he's pregnant too.
I am going to have a baby.
Yeah, because that's what happens. There's now 2 Morgan Freemans. There's 7 Morgan Freeman, and he gave birth to another Morgan Freeman, which is Exposition Freeman, as he's more well known in Hollywood.
That doesn't make any sense. It's more like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, maybe. And it's so, and that's when you kind of get it. If they didn't have that scene, then her head being in the box at the end.
Have you got any problems with 7?
Problems with 7?
Yeah, is there anything?
Could have been longer. I wanted more.
You wanted more.
I wanted there to be more murders.
Like 20 Deadly Sins. I think it's my favourite Fincher.
You can't
film.
change it. I mean, imagine if Michael Bay, for example, made 7. How would that be?
Well, that'd be. It wouldn't be 7. It'd be 123. And there'd be aliens in it.
Okay.
Morgan Freeman would be played by Will Smith.
That'll be Exposition Morgan Freeman though.
Yeah, but played by Will Smith. And Mark Wahlberg would be doing Brad Pitt's part.
Okay, Will Smith and Mark Wahlberg, yeah.
Yeah. And there'd be lines like, "John Doe, you're about to be John Doe."
And the 7 Deadly Sins will actually be the first 10 minutes of the film because that's not interesting.
No, that's not interesting.
Of the other 115 murders that are far more
the disturbing dildo prostitute scene would actually be a proper dildo and a big sex scene.
Yeah.
With you'd see the prostitute.
Yeah.
And the only sin would be she was just a little bit too fat, and Michael Bay doesn't like tubby people unless they're in a comedic role in his movies.
Okay, so basically he's covering every single possible sin that he has a problem with, and he's got 123 of these sins.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it would, the name of it would be Coke 123, because it's a bit of advertisement.
Coke 123, because maybe he got the script for Seven and went, you know what? I agree with all these sins.
What's wrong with it? He's jumped though.
I've got 123 things that really annoy me. It's Coke 123 pet hates.
Oh yeah, of Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. That's the best pitch ever. That is the best pitch. That is beautiful. Okay, so
what about the title?
The title Seven.
How it's spelled. Does that bother you?
I'm still hooked on the Michael Bay thing. That's great. I don't have a problem with it. Yeah. Well, the title had various incarnations on the poster. I mean, there was the strike off line, crush line, which is 7.
Yeah.
But the most famous one, and the one that everybody knows, is the 7 spelt with the number 7 instead of a V.
Yeah. This has become quite common in films now to do that.
I believe so, and there are a number of films that, and as soon as you're the one who actually likes to do lists that are longer than 2 items, it's only fitting.
7.
Of course.
Scream 4, but Scream 4. Step Up to the Streets. 13 Ghosts, but number 13 N Ghosts. Lucky number 7 Evan.
Or in other countries it's just called Slevin.
Yeah. Okay. Too Fast, Too Furious. Simone, or S1MO Ne.
1 on me.
Yeah, on me. Pokemon Forever. Le for Kate 3.
Layer Kate. I don't know what the 3 is actually supposed to be E. But
yeah. We've got Leprechaun Back to the Hood. Halloween H2O.
Which I guess is water. Yeah. But it doesn't make any sense because it's Halloween 20.
Yeah. Well, it was 20 years, wasn't it?
20 years, H20. But
H2O being Halloween water.
Halloween water. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
I was expecting submarines or Cape Fear.
Final Destination.
No.
Or Anal Destination.
I thought it said Anal Destination because the 5 looks more like the alphanumeric. It's Anal Destination is probably a better film.
It probably is.
So there you go. I mean, that's probably just a small sample as well. There's probably many more that we haven't touched upon there.
Yeah.
But look at that list. I mean, come on. Scream 4. I mean, the A 4. Yeah. But they didn't think about it when they did the Scream 3. They could have changed the E to a 3, but they never did.
Well, that would have made more sense because I suppose a 3 looks a little bit like an E.
Yeah.
But a 4 doesn't look anything like a... Hey, well, it does a bit, doesn't it?
It does if you... I guess it does.
As if you're on acid.
Which we're not yet. Step Up to the Streets doesn't even make sense. No. I guess it's Step Up to the sequel. But is there a fear? I mean, are these films being afraid of having a sequel number? I mean, some films don't seem to worry about that, but a lot of films that I've noticed lately don't even have a numerical order to them. Harry Potter, for example, it's just the title of the book.
Yeah, you don't have Harry Potter 3, do you? Harry Potter 4.
I am X-Men. It's not. I mean, X-Men. Was it Days of Future Past? It's not called X-Men 7.
No.
If they called it X-Men 7, all of a sudden you kind of got a problem. Because it's like, oh no, it's the 7th film. It's like...
It's interesting what they've done with X-Men though. Yeah, the X-Men 1, 2, 3, we don't talk about 3.
Yeah.
And then the sort of thing, oh, we want to go back to the beginning.
What's it with 3?
now. So it was awful.
Was it?
Yeah. Bryan Singer did the first 2. The third one was done by the guy who did Rush Hour, the director.
Oh no, Brett Ratner.
That's him. He did it.
Really?
And yeah, widely regarded as ruining the franchise. But then you got,
But Singer came back and
it wasn't Singer for the first one. It was brain farts.
Well, the fourth one was the kids again, wasn't it? The Academy.
It's called X-Men Orange.
Orange. X-Men Oranges.
It is. Do you remember that famous mutant Orange?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Origins.
Orangings.
Yeah.
Oranges.
X-Men Oranges. No one liked it because it was just a bowl of fruit moving around for half an hour.
It would. It's like Grape Expectations. It just would have been terrible. Oh, they get the golden raspberry for that.
But yeah, so they sort of reinvented it again. But then with Days of Future Past, it's got the old crew and the new crew.
All right, so they're basically a blending of all that was good.
Yeah, so they have to send Wolverine back to the past to sort of save the future kind of thing, but sets up a completely different timeline.
But that's X-Men number 7. Yeah. So I mean, you've got 2 things. You've got films that are scared to have a numerical suffix as we call it. The idea of being sequels is terrifying to certain things. But apart from Rambo, but even Sylvester Stallone says, "I'm not going to call it Rambo 4. It's going to be Rambo."
Yeah, he did it with Rocky as well, didn't he?
Rocky, yeah. It's not going to be called Rocky 4 or 5 or 6.
Hey, you very rude.
We're going to call it Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
Balboa. But so yeah, there's what's
the
wrong?
Italian chairlift.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Sponsored by Stena. Stena Stallone. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's on your grave. So, yeah, sequels. The thing is, I don't have a problem with numbers.
No, I like numbers.
With sequels, I have no problem with sequels. But why do they have to be so cocky and have all these stupid? Let's put 4 instead of 8.
Exactly. What's wrong with just putting layer cake? You know what I mean? Or is this because text is so like people text rather than talk these days?
Yeah.
This is like text language, isn't it?
Well, Pokemon Forever is obviously aimed towards the generation of text fingers.
Yeah.
So if they're going to go and see Pokemon Forever at the cinema and you're going to text your friend and you're 12, how are you going to text that? Forever? No.
Forever.
Forever.
But really, if it was proper, it should have been Pokemon Forevs.
Yeah.
It would have been proper then.
So yeah, I mean they're obviously aiming for an audience who, like you say, maybe the texting generation has kind of crept in there a lot.
But then with Simone, wasn't big text in.
They're binary numbers though. It's ones and zeros.
Of course it is. Yeah.
That's probably what they're trying to do there. But they could have done that with the Matrix. I mean, I'm surprised that Matrix was called Matrix 2 and 3. Or was it? Oh no, it's called Revelations and Observations.
Reloaded. Matrix Reloaded.
Reloaded, is that the second one?
Yeah, then Metric.
Matrix. But I'm surprised they didn't try anything clever there, because that would have been more apt to have binary code.
It would have done, yeah, but I think those last 2 Matrix films weren't very clever anyway.
No, it didn't really matter, but...
Yeah. I know we're going off topic a bit, but...
There's no such thing. We've been kidnapped by Spice Girls. And
the
Illuminati. What are we supposed to do other than just talk about what we feel like talking about?
How could they get it so wrong, The Matrix? The first one is brilliant. It invented a new way of filming for that bullet time.
Yeah,
and then... because I'm a fan of martial arts cinema, I like aspects of the second one, but the third one is just shocking.
I started watching the second one. I just lost interest. I didn't know who the people, who they were. Everything was just being overly explained.
Hello, Neo.
Who are you?
I am the architect. I created the Matrix. I've been waiting for you. You have many questions, and though the process has altered your consciousness, you remain irrevocably human. Ergo, some of my answers you will understand, and some of them you will not. Concordantly, while your first question may be the most pertinent, you may or may not realize it is also the most irrelevant.
Why am I here?
Your life is the sum of a remainder of an unbalanced equation inherent to the programming of the Matrix.
But not being explained.
Yeah.
It was like they're trying to hold things back, and yet they're talking about stuff and not telling you. And it was just a tell you movie. It wasn't a show you. It wasn't expression. It didn't go. I just didn't like it. I just didn't feel like I was watching a movie anymore. The first one, I felt like I was watching a movie.
Yeah. I remember
It was exciting.
the day I watched The Matrix was a good day. I watched the first Blade film and then The Matrix in the same day. Came out of Blade and went straight and watched Matrix. Oh, what a day.
I saw it first in Australia.
Right. Was it different though?
Well, no, it was the same. Well, actually, no, you're right. It was different. The DVD in Australia, because a lot of it was filmed in Sydney.
Yeah.
And, well, the Australians were treated to a DVD version that had an audio commentary. Because they talked a lot about Sydney, Australia, and about filming in Australia. They released it for the Australian DVD, but we never got the audio commentary.
Oh, that's interesting.
They had the whole cast there doing the commentary, but we didn't get that. It's unavailable in this country. That's very odd. But we watched it because my housemate at the time, she was really good at competitions. She won the Matrix competition, which she got a DVD player, she got the soundtrack, she got the DVD, the Matrix, and you ready for this?
She was unplugged out of the system and put into the real world.
She was sent a life-size cardboard cutout of Neo.
That's terrifying.
And it was amazing because what we did is we used to beat him up. We actually did. My housemate who was into Taekwondo used to practice kicking, and so we had the interactive version of the Matrix that had the commentary and Keanu Reeves to kick the shit out of.
That's great.
It was great. I mean, I can't swap that experience because I watched it here and I thought, well, I don't have my cardboard cutout or anything here now, so it's kind of sad.
Oh.
So, but yeah, so it was a bigger. I felt as though it was a bigger experience in Australia than it was here.
Right. Because it's just so much in it, isn't there? You know what I mean? It's so many.
Dense.
Yeah. At first, he's just a computer hacker, then he gets taken out of that world. But I love that part where he just sort of wakes up and he's like, I know Kung Fu. He's like, show me. And then they have that little fight, and that's just brilliant. I loved it. Great film.
It is. It's a classic. And the colour of it. I just love the green.
Yeah.
And they actually reinvented because up until then I think the colour of fear was always red, but they changed the colour of fear became green, and green became that a lot of films after that started to just use green as a colour scheme for a fearful place to go into.
Oh.
And you'll probably notice that more and more that green is the colour of fear.
And you can take that to the bank.
Yes. Do you know what? It's too dark in here. We need to find. If we're going to escape from this room, we need to.
Let me have a feel. Oh, wait a minute. I think I found the light switch.
Oh
my God.
Oh, have you seen these really dressed people? Oh my God, there's bodies.
There's four. They're the Backstreet Boys.
Oh no, there's five. There's a little bit of that one over there too.
All right.
Yeah, that one's Brian.
If I remember correctly,
Kevin.
Didn't the Spice Girls have an irrational fear of the Backstreet Boys?
They did. Obviously, because they were about at the same time, and there was obviously a rivalry because they're both.
I think I've got an idea.
No, I mean, that's Howie. Is that Howie? Oh my God, what have they done to Howie? AJ? Andy, what would John Doe do?
I've had an idea. If we take two of the ones that aren't as badly disfigured, skin them, and wear their flesh on our faces, we could conceivably scare the Spice Girls and escape.
Do you know what?
As far as they know, these are dead.
Yes.
So
they'll be like risen from the dead, and they'll think that the other ones will be rising. So they'll. Yeah. Do you think this will work?
I think this will work. Let's do it.
I think it's a genius idea.
I
It's the best thing I've heard in a long time.
Yeah. Out of all the ideas I've ever had, this is my favourite.
This is the best.
This is the one.
So okay. Which one? Howie's over there, Brian.
Well, can I have this one because he's got a bit of a beard?
Which one's the one with the beard?
That doesn't matter.
That's Kevin.
Well, I'm having Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin. Okay, the tall one. I guess Nick is the tallest. Because, okay.
Alright, let's do this.
Okay, have we got a knife? Oof.
Got one here.
This is disgusting. Oh, can we just put some air freshers? Oh, this is really bad. Oh, God. Oh, okay.
Right, I've got... Put the stretching over my face now.
Hang on, your beard's not straight. Wait.
How's that? I'll do a look.
Yeah, okay.
Go like Kevin.
You look a little bit like him. Your eyes are really dead. Okay, they're just lift your eyes a bit. Stretch it. That's it.
Right.
Okay, I'm Nick is a little bit shorter than I thought.
Yeah, it's a bit stretched. The face, but you can do this.
Okay. Are they American? Okay. All right. Okay. I'm Nick Carter, and you are Kevin Richardson.
I'm Kevin.
Kevin Richardson.
Yeah, man, I'm Kevin.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Where's the door?
Let's get out of here.
Let's just knock. Okay, do you know any Backstreet Boys songs?
Backstreet's back.
Quit playing games with my heart. My heart.
Right, run!
Swing! Hi, Spice Girls! So, this is working. There's lots of Ginger's coming after you. Quick, she's got the keys. Let's got the keys. Run! Daylight! Oh, free! We're free!
Where are we?
You know, I want to take this opportunity to let the people know how they can contact our friends at Frame by Frame. They do that podcast
You
thing.
know, two guys, yeah, they do the podcast, okay? So
they're nice. They're like a forest, which is a beautiful thing.
Exactly. And so if you want to do the communicating thing, you know, the social networking thing.
Yeah, you can tweet those guys at Frame by Frame 78. If you'd like to go to the website, that would be www.roastedportions.com.
You don't need to do the www. It's implied that it's going to be the World Wide Web.
The people need to know that.
Okay, just go to roastedportions.com, okay? You go down to the right-hand side, you've got the social connections. You can talk to the people who do the show. You can even talk to the people who made that movie, you know, Se7en.
Who'd want to talk to those mooks?
I don't know, they made a pretty interesting movie, right? It was in black and white.
Yeah, black and white. I like that.
We like black and white, and there was also some trees in that movie too.
Oh, trees! It's like being in a forest, which is a beautiful thing.
Other connections, you can really get to know these people on YouTube as well. And if you want to comment on their podcast, I urge you to do that. Okay?
Yeah, I think it is a proper, really nice thing if people want to start contacting these guys.
Subscribe to them and comment. I mean, it's just polite, you know.
Also, you can email them at framebyframe78@gmail.com.
That's it. I think that's everything wrapped up, so.
Hey, I'm gonna go and plant a tree somewhere.
Okay, you go plant some trees.
I'm gonna go plant a tree.
I'm gonna go tweet.
You tweet, I'll plant a tree.
It's us. We're out of here.